Welcome to the Deep Dive. We're jumping straight into the future today, looking specifically at those cutting-edge software ideas. The high-demand solutions really shaping 2025 and well beyond. This whole deep dive, it's built from the material you shared with us, and our goal is simple: help you quickly find the most important insights hidden inside. So let's unpack what's next in tech. Oh, and if you find this valuable, definitely remember to subscribe so you don't miss future deep dives.
That's right. I mean, the pace of tech advancement, especially software, it's just incredible. It creates these huge opportunities, yeah. But staying ahead really means exploring the innovative ideas aligning with these really rapid changes. We've definitely dug into the material you sent over to pull out some of the key areas highlighted as significant for the coming year or so.
Right. And actually, before we dive completely in, we wanted to share something, related to the kind of innovative ideas we're talking about today. We actually specialize in turning concepts like these into reality. We offer custom software, mobile and web app development, expertise in AI and machine learning, and also offshore development solutions. So if you're looking to build something, groundbreaking, you can reach us at WeblineIndia.com or just email info@WeblineIndia.com and be sure to follow us for updates. Okay, so let's get into this material you provided us. When we talk about software really shaping the future, what's the very first major trend or idea that jumps out for 2025?
The material really seems to emphasize AI-powered hyper-personalization engines. Big phrase, I know. But this isn't just, basic recommendations like you bought this, maybe you'll like that. No, it's about using deep learning to really analyze your behavior in real time, like down to the click and scroll. The aim is creating incredibly customized experiences across pretty much any digital platform, e-commerce, streaming, apps, you name it.
Okay, hyper-personalization. So what makes them different? What features are actually driving that hyper part?
Well, it's definitely the real-time element. That instant behavioral analytics piece is key. It's also predictive customer segmentation using machine learning, so the system can kind of anticipate your needs or interests and group you into these really specific categories without needing explicit rules. Plus, they factor in context-aware recommendations, things like, where you are, what device you're using, maybe even the weather. And crucially, automated A/B testing is often built right in, constantly tweaking the interface, the recommendations, seeing what performs best. The material definitely highlights that these capabilities can significantly boost engagement and conversions.
That's fascinating. Okay, so moving beyond just personalizing what we see, what's the next big area the material points towards?
We see a pretty significant focus on decentralized finance, DeFi, and broader blockchain-based solutions. The material really suggests blockchain is continuing to, disrupt traditional financial services. Think decentralized lending and borrowing platforms. These use smart contracts, which are basically self-executing agreements on the blockchain to handle transactions without needing those traditional intermediaries. It also mentions things like automated yield firming aggregators tools to help optimize returns from digital assets, and cross-chain NFT marketplaces, too, ones that can work across different blockchains.
Right. Those sound pretty complex to build, though. What are the crucial technical things to consider if you're building something like that based on the source?
Yeah, good question. The material really stresses the importance of smart contract security audits. I mean, if there's a bug in that code, it can be exploited, sometimes catastrophically. It also highlights the need for layer 2 scalability solutions. These are like technologies built on top of the main blockchain. They process transactions faster and cheaper, sort of off-chain, before settling them later. That really helps reduce those often high gas fees and congestion. And regulatory compliance modules are noted as essential too. Plus, the material specifically mentions needing expertise in languages like Solidity and Rust.
Okay, Solidity and Rust. Got it. All right, shifting gears a bit from finance to security, what's identified as a major trend in cybersecurity software then?
Autonomous cybersecurity and AI-driven threat detection, that's a big one.
Yeah.
I mean, with threats getting so much more sophisticated and happening at machine speed, human analysts they can't keep up alone. So the ideas here include things like behavioral anomaly detection using AI spotting patterns of activity that just look wrong, even if they don't match a known virus signature. Also mentioned are self-healing systems. These can automatically identify and patch vulnerabilities without waiting for a human.
Right.
And zero trust security frameworks are talked about a lot. They basically operate on the principle of never trust, always verify for every single access attempt everywhere.
So what's the big payoff? Why move towards these more automated AI-powered security solutions? What makes them so necessary?
The material indicates they can just dramatically reduce the response time to breaches. We're talking potentially from days down to mere seconds.
Wow.
Which, minimizes the damage. They also use machine learning to cut down on false positives, so security teams aren't just chasing ghosts. And they're designed to integrate with existing security tools, which is important. It's really about building robust, proactive protection against those constantly evolving threats.
Okay, that makes sense. Let's talk about building software itself then. What trend is highlighted for speeding up application development?
Yeah, the huge demand for speed and efficiency is really driving low-code, no-code enterprise application builders. These are platforms designed to empower, well, both business users and developers, actually, to build relatively complex applications using visual interfaces, drag-and-drop components, pre-built templates. It significantly reduces the amount of manual coding needed.
Right. What are the big advantages mentioned for using these tools, especially, in an enterprise setting?
The material points to much faster MVP development, that's minimum viable product. It estimates maybe up to a 70% reduction in time to market, which is huge.
70%.
Yeah. They also offer cost-effective scalability because you can build and modify applications without needing these massive development teams for every single change. And they make automating workflows, integrating with databases much simpler through those visual drag-and-drop interfaces. Industries like banking, healthcare, retail, they're all benefiting greatly.
Okay. So moving from purely digital applications to managing physical systems, physical spaces, what does the material discuss regarding the Internet of Things, or IoT?
IoT-based smart city and industrial automation, that's the focus. This really extends connectivity and intelligence right into our urban infrastructure and industrial operations. For smart cities, we're seeing ideas like AI-powered traffic management systems that optimize flow in real time, waste management optimization using sensors and bins, to signal when they're actually full, and energy-efficient street lighting that adjusts based on whether pedestrians or vehicles are present.
Okay, makes sense for cities. And on the industrial side, what about IoT?
In industrial IoT, key innovations mentioned include predictive maintenance systems, so using sensors and data analysis to detect machinery faults before a breakdown happens. That saves huge costs.
I bet.
Automated supply chain tracking is another big one, providing real-time visibility of goods. And remote equipment monitoring via the cloud allows for diagnostics, even control from anywhere. The material does note that developing these often requires specific expertise in embedded systems and edge computing processing data closer to where it's actually generated.
Right, edge computing. Okay. Healthcare is another sector just seeing massive tech shifts. What specific software trend is highlighted there in the material?
AI-driven health tech and diagnostic assistance. This is a really huge area. The material points to breakthroughs like using deep learning for radiology image analysis. It's achieving accuracies over 95% in some cases, identifying potential issues like tumors, really assisting doctors in diagnosis. Also mentioned are things like virtual health assistants for initial symptom checking and triage, and intelligent drug interaction checkers that can flag potential conflicts based on a patient's prescribed medications.
That sounds incredibly useful. But what are the unique challenges mentioned when you're developing software for healthcare? It must be tricky.
Oh, absolutely. The material strongly emphasizes regulatory compliance. Things like HIPAA in the US or GDPR in Europe. Patient data privacy and security are paramount. Seamless integration with existing electronic health record systems, EHRs, that's critical, but often really complex. And technologies like federated learning are mentioned as important for training AI models across different hospitals without actually pooling sensitive patient data in one place.
Federated learning.
Yeah. So accuracy and just strict adherence to regulations are absolutely critical.
Got it. Okay. Thinking about how we interact with computers, with information in new ways, what about augmented and virtual reality, AR and VR?
Immersive AR/VR training and collaboration platforms. They're highlighted as being pretty transformative for both learning and work. The ideas include things like surgical training simulators. Medical professionals can practice complex procedures in a totally risk-free virtual environment. Virtual corporate onboarding is another one, making welcoming new employees maybe more engaging. And remote teams collaborating in these 3D virtual meeting spaces. It feels much more present, than just a standard video call.
Yeah, I can imagine. What are the key development essentials for building these kinds of immersive experiences? What does it take?
Well, the material points to needing expertise in powerful game engines like Unity or Unreal Engine for creating those realistic 3D environments, integrating haptic feedback, touch sensations that really enhances the immersion. And robust multi-user synchronization is absolutely needed to ensure everyone in a shared virtual space sees and interacts in real time without lag. These applications, they really demand high performance.
High performance makes sense. So once applications are built and running, especially if they're in the cloud, how is the material seeing that management side evolve?
Cloud-native DevOps and Kubernetes orchestration tools. These are in incredibly high demand as businesses just continue their big move to the cloud. The material discusses solutions like AI-driven auto-scaling systems that automatically adjust computing resources up or down based on real-time demand, optimizing costs. And unified multi-cloud management tools are also key, letting organizations manage services across different cloud providers like AWS, Azure, Google Cloud, all from a single dashboard.
And why are these tools so vital for businesses really leveraging the cloud? What's the big benefit?
The material indicates they can lead to pretty significant reductions in infrastructure, costs potentially up to 40%, just by ensuring resources are used efficiently.
40%. Wow.
Yeah. They also accelerate CI/CD pipelines, that's continuous integration and continuous deployment, which means software updates, new features, they can be released much faster and more frequently. And they enhance disaster recovery capabilities too. So that ability to scale seamlessly and manage these complex cloud environments, that's really the core benefit.
Okay. Voice technology, it's showing up everywhere now, isn't it?
Yeah.
How does the material suggest that applies to enterprise software specifically, not just smart speakers at home?
Right. Voice-first productivity and enterprise assistance. That's the angle. Voice is definitely moving beyond consumer gadgets into serious business tools. Ideas mentioned include meeting transcription and analytics. These can identify speakers, maybe even analyze the sentiment of the discussion. Voice-controlled CRM systems are another example, letting sales teams update records just by speaking commands. And multilingual virtual receptionists that can handle incoming calls, route them appropriately, all using natural language understanding.
Okay, so what's needed technically to build really effective voice solutions for the enterprise?
The material emphasizes needing advanced natural language processing, or NLP, models for accurate speech recognition across different accents, different contexts. Noise cancellation algorithms are pretty crucial for usability, especially in busy office environments. And often on-device processing is preferred for privacy reasons, keeping sensitive voice data local rather than sending it all to the cloud. So expertise in AI and linguistics is really foundational here.
Makes sense. Okay, finally, the last major area highlighted in the material we looked at covers sustainability. What's the software trend there?
GreenTech and carbon footprint management software. Sustainability is becoming, a core business priority now, not just a sort of nice to have. So eco-friendly innovations discussed include things like AI-based energy optimizers for buildings and factories, automatically adjusting systems to cut down consumption. Carbon credit tracking platforms are mentioned, helping companies monitor, report, and manage their emissions and offsets. And sustainable supply chain analytics, which can help identify suppliers and practices that minimize environmental impact.
And why is this type of software becoming so important for businesses to adopt now?
Well, the material explains it's crucial for meeting ESG requirements, environmental, social, and governance. Those are increasingly important for investors, for regulators.
Right, ESG.
Exactly. It also leads to reduced operational costs, mainly through energy savings. And it definitely improves brand reputation with environmentally conscious customers. These solutions often pull together data from, say, IoT sensors, and then use AI for the analysis and optimization part. So yeah, that really gives us a pretty comprehensive picture from the material you provided. It covers AI across personalization, security, healthcare, voice, alongside those key areas like DeFi, rapid app development, IoT in cities and industry, immersive tech, cloud management, and GreenTech. It touches on a really wide range of next-gen software ideas, doesn't it?
It really does. That was a fantastic deep dive into some truly exciting areas shaping the future of software. It's just so clear there's no shortage of innovation on the horizon, incredible opportunities for those building or, leveraging these technologies.
Absolutely. And understanding these emerging trends is just vital, whether you're planning your next product, thinking about investments, or honestly just trying to navigate the technological landscape of the near future.
So, based on everything we've just unpacked from this material, here's a provocative thought for you, the listener, to consider. Which of these next-gen software ideas do you personally believe is most likely to make the biggest tangible, real-world impact in, say, the next 2 years? And why? Think about the scale, the problems it solves, maybe the potential challenges too. It's definitely something to mull over.
Indeed. Yeah, consider how these trends might intersect or perhaps apply to areas you're already deeply interested in or maybe working within.
Well, thanks so much for joining us for this deep dive into the future of software. We really hope it gave you some valuable insights quickly.
Always a pleasure to explore these fascinating topics with you.
And if you found this deep dive helpful, please do share it with someone else who might benefit from these insights. And remember to follow us for updates on future deep dives. Until next time.